What if the universe isn't just a vast, empty, indifferent machine? What if the stars, the galaxies, the very fabric of reality around you and within you is imbued with a profound and almost unbelievable level of consciousness? I'm not talking about metaphor. I'm talking about mounting scientific observations and ancient spiritual wisdom converging on a single staggering conclusion, that the quantum universe itself might be aware. And if that's true, what does it mean for you? For your life, your potential, your very understanding of who you are? Forget everything you thought you knew, because today, we're not just exploring an idea. We're looking at compelling pointers that suggest consciousness isn't just in the universe, consciousness is the universe, and understanding this could be the key to your awakening. Welcome, truth seekers and reality shapers. For millennia, humanity has gazed at the cosmos and asked the biggest questions. Are we alone? What is the nature of reality? And perhaps most profoundly, what is consciousness and where does it come from? For a long time, mainstream science has often portrayed the universe as a collection of unconscious matter, blindly following physical laws, with consciousness somehow, almost magically, emerging only from complex biological brains like ours. But what if that picture is fundamentally incomplete? What if consciousness isn't an accidental byproduct, but a primary, fundamental aspect of existence itself? This isn't just a philosophical game. The implications are staggering. If the universe at its most fundamental quantum level possesses qualities of consciousness, it revolutionizes our understanding of everything, our connection to each other, to the planet, to the cosmos. It redefines our potential for healing, for creation, for experiencing joy and purpose. It suggests that the law of attraction, the power of intention, isn't just a nice idea, but a direct interaction with a responsive, aware universe. Today, we're diving deep. We'll explore fascinating concepts from quantum physics, like the observer effect, entanglement, and the interconnectedness of all things, that challenge the old materialist paradigm. We'll see how these scientific insights resonate powerfully with ancient spiritual traditions that have spoken of a universal mind, a cosmic consciousness, for thousands of years. We're not claiming to have the absolute, final, irrefutable mathematical proof that will satisfy every hardened skeptic in a lab coat. Science is an ongoing process of discovery, but we are presenting a compelling tapestry of evidence, observations, and profound philosophical arguments that point strongly towards a conscious universe. And more importantly, we'll explore how embracing this perspective can be the catalyst for your personal spiritual awakening, unlocking new levels of awareness, empowerment, and connection in your own life. Get ready to expand your mind. Quantum clues, when science gets weird and wonderful. The journey into a conscious universe often begins in the bizarre and beautiful world of quantum physics. This isn't your high school physics class. This is where reality itself seems to bend to the rules of something far stranger and more interconnected than we ever imagined. One of the most famous and mind-boggling clues is the double-slit experiment and the observer effect. Imagine firing tiny particles, like electrons, at a screen with two slits. If no one is looking, these particles act like waves, passing through both slits simultaneously and creating an interference pattern on a detector screen behind them, like ripples in a pond. Bizarre, right? But here's where it gets truly wild. If you set up a detector to observe which slit the particle goes through, the very act of observation causes the particle to collapse its wave function and act like a solid little billiard ball, going through only one slit. It's as if the particle knows it's being watched. Now, scientists debate the exact interpretation, but pioneers like John Archibald Wheeler even proposed a participatory universe, suggesting that the act of observation isn't just passively recording reality, but is somehow involved in bringing that reality into being. Think about that. Your consciousness, your observation, playing a role in co-creating what is. Max Planck, the father of quantum theory, famously said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness." Strong words from a Nobel laureate. Then there's quantum entanglement, what Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. When two quantum particles become entangled, they remain connected in a profound way, no matter how far apart they are separated, even light years. If you measure a property of one particle, like its spin, you instantly know the corresponding property of the other, faster than light could travel between them. This suggests a deep, non-local interconnectedness, a hidden layer of reality where everything is fundamentally linked. How can information travel instantly across vast cosmic distances if there isn't some underlying field of connection, perhaps a field imbued with informational properties akin to consciousness? Some physicists, like Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff with their OR theory, orchestrated objective reduction, have even proposed that consciousness itself might arise from quantum processes occurring within microtubules inside our brain neurons. While still debated, it opens the door to the idea that the building blocks of consciousness might be woven into the very fabric of the universe, not just confined to biological structures. And consider the concept of a zero-point field or quantum vacuum. This isn't empty space. It's a seething cauldron of energy, a sea of virtual particles constantly winking in and out of existence. Some theorists, like Ervin Laszlo, propose this field as a cosmic information field, an Akashic field in modern terms, that stores all information and interconnects everything. If such a field exists, it acts like a universal memory, a form of distributed cosmic mind. These quantum phenomena aren't just quirky footnotes. They are fundamental aspects of how reality operates at its deepest level. They paint a picture of a universe that is not a collection of separate, dead objects, but a dynamic, interconnected, and strangely responsive web of energy and information where observation and connection play crucial, reality-defining roles. Could these be the fingerprints of a universal consciousness? This is a lot to take in. What's the most mind-bending quantum concept you've heard that makes you question the nature of reality or consciousness? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Let's explore these mysteries together. Echoes in ancient wisdom, the perennial philosophy. What's truly fascinating is that these cutting-edge scientific ideas find profound echoes in the oldest spiritual and philosophical traditions from around the world. Long before quantum physics, mystics, sages, and philosophers spoke of a universal consciousness, a divine mind, a web of life that connects all things. Consider the concept of Brahman in Hinduism, the ultimate, unchanging reality, an infinite, all-pervading conscious existence from which everything arises. Or the Tao in Taoism, the fundamental nature of the universe, an indescribable principle that flows through all things. Buddhist philosophy explores concepts like dependent origination, highlighting the interconnectedness and impermanence of all phenomena. And some schools speak of a storehouse consciousness, alaya vijnana, that underlies individual experience. Indigenous cultures worldwide have long held a worldview where nature is alive, imbued with spirit, and where everything is interconnected. They didn't see a separation between the physical and the spiritual, or between themselves and the environment. This reverence for a living, conscious earth and cosmos is a testament to an intuitive understanding of universal connectedness. Hermeticism, with its famous axiom, as above, so below, as below, so above, implies a correspondence between the macrocosm, the universe, and the microcosm, the individual, suggesting that the same principles of consciousness and creation operate at all scales. The ancient Greeks, with philosophers like Plato, spoke of a world soul or anima mundi, an intrinsic consciousness within the cosmos. These aren't isolated beliefs. It's a recurring theme, a perennial philosophy, as Aldous Huxley called it, found across cultures and time periods, all pointing to a reality where consciousness is not localized, but universal, fundamental, and interconnected. So, when Max Planck says consciousness is fundamental, or when David Bohm, another renowned physicist, spoke of an implicate order, a deeper, unseen level of reality from which our explicate, manifest world unfolds, emphasizing undivided wholeness. They are, in many ways, articulating with the language of modern science what mystics have known through intuitive experience for centuries. This convergence is powerful. It suggests we are rediscovering an ancient truth through a new lens, a truth that the universe is not a collection of dead things, but a living, breathing, conscious whole. The implications, your awakening starts here. Okay, so what if it's true? What if the quantum universe is indeed conscious, or at least possesses qualities that are foundational to consciousness? What does this mean for you, sitting there, watching this, living your life? This is where it gets truly transformative. This is where your awakening starts. You are fundamentally connected. If the universe is a unified field of consciousness, then you are not an isolated being. You are an inseparable part of that cosmic consciousness, like a wave in an infinite ocean. This realization dissolves feelings of loneliness, separation, and alienation. Your thoughts, your energy, your very being ripples out and affects the whole, and the whole, in turn, affects you. This is the basis for empathy, compassion, and a deep sense of belonging. Your thoughts and intentions have power. If consciousness plays a role in shaping reality at the quantum level, then your consciousness, your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and intentions, is not just passive internal chatter. It is an active force. This provides a profound framework for understanding why practices like focused intention, visualization, and affirmations, the core of the law of attraction, can have tangible effects. You are co-creating with a responsive universe. You are not just a victim of circumstance. You are a participant in the creation of your experience. The universe is not indifferent. A conscious universe is not a cold, mechanical void. It is imbued with an intelligence, a creative impulse, perhaps even a form of inherent wisdom or love. This doesn't mean it's a Santa Claus figure granting wishes, but it does suggest that there's an underlying order, a flow, a supportive energy you can align with. When you act in ways that are coherent with love, joy, and growth, you may find the universe conspiring to support you because you are resonating with its fundamental nature. Your potential is limitless, or at least vastly expanded. If you are a focal point of universal consciousness, then the creative potential within you is immense. The limitations you perceive are often self-imposed, based on a belief in separation and powerlessness. Awakening to your connection with a conscious universe helps you tap into deeper levels of intuition, creativity, healing, and wisdom. Spiritual awakening becomes a natural unfolding. Understanding this framework can shift spiritual awakening from a lofty, unattainable goal to a natural process of remembering who you truly are, an expression of universal consciousness. It's about shedding the layers of limited identity and aligning with this deeper truth. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, spending time in nature, and acts of service become ways to quiet the ego mind and tune in to this universal awareness that is already present within and around you. This isn't about adopting a new belief system blindly. It's about opening yourself to a new perspective, one that empowers you to see yourself and your world through a lens of profound connection, potential, and responsiveness. It invites you to experiment, to observe your own experience, to see if living as if the universe is conscious changes how you feel, how you act, and what you attract into your life. The journey into understanding a conscious universe is one of the most profound adventures we can undertake. The evidence from quantum physics, echoed by timeless wisdom, offers compelling pointers, not perhaps definitive lab-coded proof in the strictest materialist sense, but something far more resonant, a glimpse into a reality that is infinitely more mysterious, interconnected, and alive than many of us were taught to believe. Embracing this perspective isn't about having all the answers. It's about living with a new sense of wonder, a deeper respect for the mystery, and a profound recognition of your own intrinsic connection to the all. It's about realizing that your individual consciousness is a precious, powerful lens through which the universe experiences itself. Your awakening starts here, not with a dogma, but with an invitation to live as if you are part of a vast, intelligent, and responsive cosmos, to cultivate awareness, to set intentions with clarity and heart, to act with kindness and courage, and to observe how the universe reflects back your own evolving consciousness. You are not just a speck of dust. You are a spark of the cosmic fire, a co-creator in this grand, unfolding, conscious, universal story. Thank you for joining me on this mind-expanding exploration. If this resonated with you, if it sparked curiosity or a sense of wonder, please give this video a thumbs up to help spread these ideas. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Zendai and hit that notification bell for more journeys into the quantum universe, spiritual wisdom, and unlocking your incredible potential. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep awakening.